With us now is Congressman André Carson, a Democrat from Indiana. Congressman, thank you so much for being with us. We were just talking about the speaker's race. It's tomorrow morning. What are you and Democrats going to do?
I know I'm supporting my good friend, Leader Hakeem Jeffries. I think he'll be a phenomenal speaker. I think he represents the change that is happening in our country, and I think he represents a new start.
What do you expect Republicans to do? And what do you think the larger significance of this uncertainty still is?
Well, I think it reflects the fracture that is the Republican Party. They're divided. There's infighting. You have different groups with different ideologies, and they can't seem to get on the right page. I think most will coalesce around Speaker Johnson, but there are still some outliers who are very ambitious, and these outliers tend to keep trouble up, to leverage this trouble to get a plum committee assignment or to get some other kind of chairship. But it's going to be a wild ride, but I'm with Hakeem Jeffries.
Democrats have been there before for Mike Johnson to save him. Not this time. Why not?
Well, Speaker Jeffries has been very clear. I think Democrats don't want to be seen as having supported this crazy agenda led by far right MAGA Republicans who intend to divide our country, who intend to take our country back to some mythical good old days. And Speaker Jeffries has been very clear, or future Speaker Jeffries has been very clear in this matter. And so Democrats will stand united while Republicans continue to be fractured.
All right, let's talk about a few weeks from now when there is a speaker one way or another, how Democrats, you want them to interact with not just the Republican leadership in the House, but also a President Trump. On January 20th, Donald Trump will be back in the White House. There are questions about how Democrats should work with the Trump administration. Tom Suozzi, who is your Democratic colleague from New York, from Long Island, who represents a Trump-won district, has an op-ed in the New York Times this morning, and he thinks that Democrats should find places to work with the Trump administration. He says, as a Democratic member, I know my party will be tempted to hold fast against Trump at every turn. That would be a mistake. As I see it, the results of the 2024 campaign were a mandate for border security, immigration reform, low inflation, economic stability, and common ground on culture war fights. That's good for America, says Suozzi. So let's make our shared agenda in 2025. What do you think about that? He says you should find ways to work with Trump.
Well, I don't disagree. I think a lot of the bills that I've had passed personally they've been passed with Republican support. And so I think where President Trump is concerned about job creation, I think where he's concerned about border security and national security, I think there are ways in which we can work together in a strategy that will help our collective districts, that will help fellow Americans, that will encourage economic stimulation, that will encourage job growth, that will keep our borders safe, but not in a way that will inflame existing hostilities between groups and entities that otherwise should be working together around the clock. Look, Democrats aren't in unison. We have different caucuses with regional concerns. We have different groups like the Congressional Black Caucus, which I'm a member, the Hispanic Caucus, AAPI, and so many groups. Also the Progressive Caucus, as well as New Dems. So we have some philosophical differences, but we're always able to come together for the greater good. And I think if our president, our future president, our soon-to-be president, Donald Trump, is on the same page, I think we can do what's right for our constituents. Now, we're trustees and we're representatives for our constituents. So we're trustees over taxpayer dollars, but we also represent the interest of our district. So ways in which we can work together, how can we deny the American people and taxpayers of that wonderful opportunity to do so?
Just one last question on the speaker's race, back to that, because it is tomorrow again. Any predictions? I mean, how long will it take? How many ballots will there be?
I sure hope it doesn't take as long as it did 2 years ago. You had families come out, you had folks waiting, a series of votes that exhausted the larger body. I mean, that's what a democracy is all about. But the American people are sick and tired of the pageantry. They want us to get to work and do what's right for their interest. And I think for us to think that it's okay to go on with this political theater, it's simply unacceptable.
Congressman André Carson from Indiana, appreciate you being with us this morning. Thank you very much.